All right, so GameStop adding retro games to their store. How does that affect the market?
Or anything. I saw some pictures float around. I don't know like what level or of what corporate decision is like you can put them in, or if it's like per store. I don't think everybody's doing it, but I have seen pictures floating around of retro games in a GameStop. Funny enough, the prices were actually mildly comparable as well. Also, shout out Iowa Retro Gamer. He's the one I kind of saw this from and kind of was poking into it. But I was like, wow, he was comparing the prices and they were pretty comparable to like eBay and like price charting. Like they weren't like trying to wax or anything. You know, it wasn't comparable to some of the other websites that are much higher. But I'm curious, you as a store owner, what would be your thoughts if every GameStop in the area is like, hey, it's now a corporate thing, GameStop wide, we're all carrying retro games now. We're sign on the front door. We buy retro video games.
They did this, the first time they rolled this out was maybe like 6 years ago, 5-6 years ago now. When
the initial launch?
When they announced we're going to start buying retro games. At that time, myself and other store owners were very nervous about it. I was like, oh shoot, this could be the end. Like if they get into this big. And they really, in my opinion, just messed the whole thing up because they were buying them and then they were just sending them off to a warehouse to sell.
Yeah.
And they never put them in their stores, right? And I was like, and then they stopped doing that maybe like 2 years ago. They ran into all sorts of issues with fake games and stuff. And
I was gonna say.
Quality control, yeah.
And then they ended it. My opinion on it now is I feel like it's too little too late. I feel like, and one reason is I do feel like the video game stores like myself and Rick's and Game Towers and all of them, all the retro video game stores we all across the whole country have like situated ourselves. And I don't think GameStop could compete with us now on that level. Right. And I mean that genuinely. Like, if you go into my store, first of all, or Rick's store, right? Like we have so many things and it's so catered to like the collecting. I
mean, your store is literally called Retro Games Plus.
Right. And I just feel like the community of the retro gamers and collectors have all been going for years now to their probably local retro game store. I think for GameStop to pull that away now would be very challenging. I don't think they could do it.
I feel like if GameStop did it too, I feel like it's going to be more of like the mom who found a couple Wii games. You know what I mean? And they're just like, I don't know what to do with this, right? It's almost like they're not even going to go in because they're specifically looking to sell retro games, but they're just like, oh, that's a game store. I wonder if they would buy this stuff. Yeah,
and they do. They do. We'll always get that, I think. And what they did for the longest time is we would get tons of referrals from GameStop, and we still do now. Even now, I don't know if all the GameStops are buying.
Go bring them some donuts once in a while, you know.
Yeah, we would always. No lie, I would go in and butter it up with the GameStop employees. Business. I'd go in and say hi to them. Hey, by the way, I own a retro game store down here. If you get any trades, send them down. And they're like, yeah, we don't buy that.
Here's $50. Have a good day.
No, I never paid them off. But I was in a GameStop right before Christmas and just pop in once in a while. I never buy anything in there. It is so dismal and sad, the amount of games that are in those stores.
Yeah.
It's really not a game store anymore. There was one section about 4 feet wide of Xbox games, one section of PS4 games, tiny little section of Switch games, and the rest was all just like
it's like collectibles, right?
Statues, yeah, collectibles.
Statues, stuff that I'm like, who is buying this
It feels like you're walking into, I don't know if you guys heard of that store, Lunchbox. Have you guys ever seen that? Yeah. It kind of feels like you're going into that vibe where it's just like reproduction toys everywhere. Like, I know I'm not seeing a lot of games. I'm saying, like, if you even see like a used game, it's not really prevalent there. Like, I'm always like, oh, let me go not buy a brand new. Let me go buy something that's like already been used.
Do you think there's ever a possibility of GameStop? I mean, or let's say there is a possibility. Let's just say there is a possibility. Next gen keeps going the way it's going. Everyone's like, dude, there's no more physical. Like, this is toast. Like, we got to get away from being a new game store. We got to get away from Switch, PS6, Xbox Series Y, whatever it's going to be. We're going all retro.
I couldn't see it. I don't know. Something with them, just their corporate, who they are and their CEO and what they've become.
Is their CEO still that famous?
I think it's that Ryan Cohen.
Handsome dude or something?
I think it's Ryan Cohen.
Handsome dude.
That's all I remember. I remember something. I was like, that guy's handsome.
He's a younger CEO. He's probably like our age. He might even be younger. And he was the guy that was involved with Chewy, which was like the online.
So it is the guy I'm thinking of.
Yeah.
Correct.
from everything I've read about him, like he's more of just like a big time investor. Last I read, like GameStop was using their funds to like buy stocks of other companies or something.
Okay.
I don't know. He's like a big time stock investor.
Yeah.
He basically kind of like took over GameStop as the CEO from what I've read. I don't know. I'd feel like if you had a CEO that was like at heart, like a retro game collector and understood the market, maybe. But with the current way they are, I just don't see it happening.
You should go
I think
for it.
I would love to. Pretty awesome.
Would you ever do it? Let's say tomorrow, right now, you're flipping through your phone. Whatever ads don't come up like that, but like GameStop seeking new CEO, GameStop to be retro game stores.
Would I do it?
Would you put out a feeler like, I'm going to apply for this?
If I could be the CEO of that company, it would be pretty awesome because they have the infrastructure of still probably 4,000 video games.
Would you keep the name?
GameStop?
Yeah.
Yeah, I think so. No, I know what I would do.
Game Go, right?
I know exactly.
Retro GameStop?
No, I know exactly what I would do.
Retro
GameStop
Point?
Plus.
Nope.
I know what to do.
What would you do?
Make it a book, like a book off.
Nope. There's
No?
a name that they own the rights to that if they went back to it, they own Funko Land.
Oh.
They own the name Funko Land.
I didn't know that.
Yeah.
That's cool. I thought you were going to say Toys R Us. I was
No.
like, cool.
No, if
No,
they
'cause there's
turned
no
it back
around.
to that,
Yeah.
if they turned it back to that, that would be pretty awesome. That would be the first thing. Just get rid of GameStop, call it Funko Land, go retro.
Would you try to make it like a place of wonder again?
Yeah. Yeah.
Wow.
Yeah, then you could compete, but I think the way they currently are with their corporate mentality, they're too far removed.
Do you think the quality control of them like in taking games is not as good? Like the focus on taking in retro games like repros and all that, they don't have that eye for it.
No, I think they could handle that. Yeah, I think they could.
It'd have
do
to
that.
get better though.
Yeah,
A lot better.
Because a lot of people they're probably hiring are just like dudes who are like, hey, you play PlayStation and Nintendo, and they're not asking people, do you know NES and do you know how to spot GBA repros?
Because I remember when Phoenix Riso would like do these videos where he buys like 10, 20 games and he wants to see like how they come in the mail. And like they're always a smorgasbord of things.
I mean, it's gotten challenging for me over the years as time has passed on. Like my employee base now, on average, is probably like 21, 22 years old. These are kids like that make you look old, Curtis.
Yo.
Possible?
Yeah.
Someone said in the comments recently that they're like, when Curtis says back in my day, that was like 2 Thursdays ago.
That's crazy because realistic, I hadn't been partying for like 6 years. That's what's crazy.
So just picture this, right? Like, and I can't do this. I have 5 stores, so I can't do this with all my employees, but I like the Huntington Beach store. Like somebody comes to trade in an Intellivision. We take Intellivisions. Training a 21-year-old how to hook up an Intellivision, they're like, they have no concept of what is going on.
Look it up on
why are you
TikTok.
even taking that in?
Yeah, so well, it's
I'm
just
kidding.
gotten further and further removed where
Yeah.
like they have no concept of it. So yeah, it's changed with employees for sure. And I'm sure GameStop has the same employee base, probably 21 years old.
Yeah.
Now, do you think that like diversifying yourself in retro has make you like not worry about those type of things, like where another store adds that was like a chain, like where you're going and diversifying your inventory?
I mean, it's certainly gotten like more saturated. Like I know Book Off, which is big out here. They've been pushing a lot of video games.
EcoTown is one.
Is EcoTown doing a lot more?
EcoTown is
Yeah.
pricey though, dude.
Yeah.
They're real pricey. I mean, I get it. They're very Japanese culture there, so everything's like super clean, super organized. If you want to go look at something pretty, go look at EcoTown in Santa Ana. I don't mind blowing the spot because you'll see tons of mint boxed NES games.
So they're fans of the show too.
Whoops. Not the one in Santa Ana.
No.
I went there, dude, and I was like, oh my gosh, look at all these NES games. I sent Ricky a picture.
They had a bunch of games.
Dude,
NES
tons.
games?
Yeah, but they're
Tons.
priced.
Tons of them.
And I was like, oh my gosh, like I'm going to score. Like nobody goes here to buy NES games. I pull out price charting and I'm like, every game is like 45% higher than price charting. And I'm like, okay, this isn't just like on market. This is like way above. But I mean, I get it. It was pretty. It was nice to look at. I was like, but okay, this is something I can move on from real quick.
Now, when you say oversaturated market, is it like creating a difference in like what values you're going to be putting out for your store?
I haven't seen a huge decrease in prices overall. there certainly is a lot more sellers like coming into the market as of recent, whether we're talking about EcoTown or Book Off pushing it, or just in general. I've been even DM messaged, probably because of the podcast, like people, I'm in Minnesota and I'm looking to open a video game store. Can you help me out, kind of thing. A lot more people, I think, opening retro video game stores. And that had kind of faded for a while. I want to say like maybe 4 or 5 years ago, like it had kind of died out. There wasn't a lot of people opening stores. There was a big rush maybe 10 years ago, a little bit of a rush, and then 4 or 5 years ago kind of died. And then now all of a sudden it's like everybody wants to own a store again.
Yeah. Now, like when I know you guys did this video where you guys went to this all sealed warehouse, like, but when another thing like happens like that, does that like fluctuate the market for prices when people find out that more games are available?
Yeah, when I went to Ben's Storsley unit. That dude was stacked with games, bro. Like,
yeah. And then you see like how many are really out there, and it puts it in perspective, right?
It does. And I mean, again, not just joking with Ben's thing, but it's like sometimes I feel like things are portrayed as more obscure or rare, hard to find than it really is. Because every once in a while, I'll go in a game store, even for an example, and you're like, oh, it's hard to find whatever Earthbound or whatever it is. And I've been to game stores where the guy's like 40 in the back, and he's like, yeah, just hold on to them. I just pass them out every once in a while, I'll drop one out, and I'm like, wow. Or, I mean, I know these aren't obscure, obviously, like NES consoles. I've seen, it was a store in South Carolina. The guy had like 1,000 in the back, just like a wall. I'm just like,
yeah,
this
Ricky
is
has
insane.
15 in his other shed.
We got another shed.
That's
coming
just
to my
the other
house.
shed. There's another shed.
How many sheds do you have?
You guys are in the business
2
of
plus-
just buying shit.
We're about to.
We're keeping Home Depot stacked. I actually have a 15-foot shed showing up tomorrow.
I know you do.
So Sunday morning, boys.
another
Sunday
shed.
morning,
Yo.
you guys are going anywhere except my house. Help me put that together.
One of my favorite things is like that I've actually seen of late is like I'll be on the Whatnot app, and then I'm always in the storage unit section no matter what. That is just like where I'm at because I'm always loving the randomness of it.
Yeah.
Sometimes like these units that people get, sealed NES, sealed SNES, and I'm just sitting there and I'm like, please no one else get in this room. But I know, like, because all of these people that are in those rooms, they know exactly about, like, I'll see D-Rob get tagged, like gaming, the guy who bought our sealed games,
yeah.
which is like, dude, then you start seeing the values of these things. Some of them are running above market. Like, even like if you were to see on eBay and all that stuff, people just get
but they're
excited.
clean.
You know what I
But
mean?
a lot of times what I tell
Yeah.
people at Whatnot, again, not sponsored. I feel like I have to say it because people complain.
yeah.
'cause it's
No,
the
not
internet.
ad.
Well, the thing with Whatnot is you can go on eBay and be like near certain what you're going to get. Like, okay, that's what they did. But pictures can look different. Lighting, you hold a light in a different angle, you'll see scratches differently. What I like about Whatnot is that it's live. So a lot of times when things go over, which again, that's few and far between,
Yeah.
but if they do, you can be like, you're seeing exactly what this thing looks like. Every angle, turn, hold, pause, let me show you this, let me switch it this way. So I feel like a lot of times when people are going crazy on that kind of stuff, if a sealed Toki comes up, they don't come up often, near ever. So if you're going to get this one versus the one on eBay, and you're a collector that wants it a very specific way, you're willing to pay a little more to get it now to know exactly what your copy is going to look like.
I just know I get excited because I'm in the moment. I'm like, oh my gosh, they found this in a unit. Because it was like, it was a collector's or somebody's who had it. Because like they'll find the statues editions. They'll find an entire 3 or 4 boxes full of them. I'm like, dude, this is awesome
We
to
buy
watch.
so much stuff on Whatnot.
Yeah. No, literally, my whole outfit is literally
90% of the time I'm on Whatnot and I start like bidding. I see Curtis in there. I'm like, Curtis. Like, hey,
I honestly do it as like a hobby almost because like I have fun on it. Like I honestly do.
fun.
Like and like it's like one of the best places to source.
It really is.
Like I source a lot from there. Like I keep a lot too because I like to sell.
Collectors, I will say, I feel like a lot of collectors, because Whatnot got a little hate in the beginning, are sleeping hard on Whatnot. Which,
Yeah.
please keep doing it. Because I'm in those rooms,
Yeah.
Brian.
I don't sell on Whatnot because I feel like get hammered on there.
There is a
So
There
you
is
guys
that,
have a
but-
following, of course, and you have a lot of more eyeballs.
But I'm talking
But
as a buyer.
as a buyer, yeah, you can. Well, yeah, you can get good deals.
what I
on
mean.
it,
Yeah.
for sure.
I got
You
good
have to
stuff on
be
my
like
Chris room all the
I'm not
time.
saying this as like a knock to anybody who's
just
trying to get on the
slagged
app
them
or the ad. There are sellers who go into different categories and they will take the L to build an audience.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah,
It's
like
true.
I saw them literally selling some rare film stuff, like, you know what I mean, like that film crew stuff. And she's like, I know what this is worth. I don't have the time on eBay to put it up.
We do it all the time.
Yeah.
Every week, I'm like,
Yeah.
I know what I could get for this. I'm selling I do not like this person.
Yeah.
Lil Nas X. I'm selling his Grammy entrance badge. His badge.
That's insane.
It's his. I looked it up. It's his badge.
There's like nothing on that
I know
stuff.
what I could get on eBay for that. I don't have time. I'll probably get $40 and whatnot. I don't care. Someone will put on eBay for $1,000. Cool. I don't care. Move
Yeah.
on. Next. That's how I think. So it just depends on your mindset.
Yeah.
Just different business models.
100%.
Yeah.